I'm Mike Smith. Welcome to Nighttiger Comics. And I'm glad you clicked on this 12 Rules to a Better Comic Book Haul. A little instructional video that me and Steve Caldwell from I Love Disney and Comics put together. And part 2 will be on his channel. His link will be in the description. And we got to thank Sharon. Sharon, thanks for narrating the rules for us. And Steve, are you ready? Dude, are you ready? You ready to go?
Ready I am. Waited a long
Dude,
time.
let's go. Come on.
Ask
So
me not
yeah, let's
again.
get into this.
Otherwise,
Here we go,
angry
man.
I shall be.
Warned you I did. Now angry you have made me. On with the show, we must go.
Number 12, The Super Stoked.
The Super Stoked comic is a rule that should be followed in every haul. You must always mention how you're not only happy, but you are super happy to have found the comic book, the one that you're currently showing. Actually, put the word super in front of everything. Super expensive, super awesome, etc., etc. Also, use words like dope and stoked, and this will reassure the viewer that you are hip to the whole comic book collecting scene.
I just couldn't believe that he sent this to me, and this is so cool. I am so super stoked.
Guys, man, this book was like super expensive, but I'm really super happy to have it. And it is just super cool, man. It's super awesome. It's just, oh my goodness, it's super, dude.
I was so super stoked when I found this. I could not believe this was there. I mean, you never see this. I am super stoked to have this, man.
You just don't know. It's like, I'm stoked. I am stoked, man. Got this new Thor, yeah.
Number 11, The 9-8 Candidate.
The 9-8 candidate, another very important rule to the comic book haul. This will have the viewer believing that you really know your stuff. Pick any great looking issue throughout the haul and specify that you truly believe that this is a 9-8 candidate, even if you know absolutely nothing about grading. Show the edges of the comic book up close. This will give the illusion that you are an expert grader, while throwing in a few phrases such as, "It looks super white," or "How bone white this cover is." Look at this, man. This is like a 9-8 candidate. Look at
So this is probably a 9.8 candidate. I mean, look at those square corners, man. Those are sharp.
19 in, and it's like a 9-8 candidate. Look at this. Look at the corners. Super high grade. Look at them sharp corners. Nice spine.
I couldn't believe this is a 9.8 candidate, and I got it for 50 cents.
Number 10, The Low Print Run.
The low print run. Another one to show off that you just know exactly what you're talking about. Now choose random issues throughout the haul and explain to the viewer what a tough comic book this is to find, that it's scarce. You just never see this one, or it has such a very, very low print run. And if it's a variant, you can throw in words like ratio and tack on a 1 in 10, a 1 in 50, a 1 in 100, etc., etc.
The print run on these was just so low. You don't see this out there very often.
So guys, you're not going to believe this. I found this. And this thing is super scarce. It has probably got a low print run on it.
You know, in the late 80s, early 90s, they were cutting back on the amount of books that they were publishing. So yeah, you don't find these very easy.
Yeah, it's true. I found this. It's like a super low print run, and I think this is the variant. I think it's like it has a ratio of like 1 in 100, or I don't even know. It could be a 1 in 50.
Number 9, The Newsstand.
The Newsstand. This is one you can have a lot of fun at the viewer's expense. I cannot emphasize enough to always mention that the current comic book you're showing with the barcode is a newsstand, even if every comic book printed in that year was a newsstand. Make sure to do this with exuberance and extra gleeful joy, like you've actually found the Holy Grail. Now, if you are bold enough, you can even say that any modern comic book is a newsstand. Just make sure to cover up the little box on the lower corner of the comic and never let the viewer see through your charade. Oh yeah, it's a newsstand. Look at that. So they sold this on the stand next to the news.
And what, you know what? It's even a newsstand copy. Look at that right there.
It's a newsstand. So it's like really, really rare.
Those are hard to find in newsstand copies.
Number 8. The press.
The press. Now this one may confuse you because you may not even know what a press is, but you got to buck it up and you got to pretend like you know everything about a press. So any comic book you are currently showing, if it has noticeable creasing, you must, and this is very important, subtly or nonchalantly say, oh, I'll probably throw this in the press, or this can definitely be pressed out. Now this is regardless if you own a press or even if you know what the hell a press is.
This one's got some spine roll on it, some really bad spine roll, but I figure you throw that in the press.
It's got a few issues with it. You know, I might throw it in the press or give it a good press.
Newsstand copy too, throw that in the press. That'll be a really nice copy.
It's going to be in the press. I'm going to leave it in the press. I'm going to call the press to show them that I pressed it. So I'm just going to press this thing. I'm going to press the crap out of it.
Number 7. The super high grade.
The super high grade. Now you've heard this term in many comic book haul videos. What the hell is a super high grade? We all know that the grading scale only goes up to 10. But this knowledge cannot stop you from calling out any comic books in the 9.2 to 9.8 range as super high grade, as if your particular comic is well above the actual accepted grading scale. Remember, if you believe it, then it's the truth. It's like super high grade. I mean, this thing's like a freaking 14.
This one is really, really super high grade.
Super high grade, dudes. I mean, it is just off the charts.
Got 4 nice sharp corners here. No spine ticks that I even see on there.
We're not talking 9/8s here. We're talking 13s, 14s.
So yeah, that is super high grade.
Thank you for watching our spoof parody. I hope that you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun putting this together. So stay tuned for part 2. And that will be at I Love Disney and Comics channel. And the link is below. So you guys, thanks a lot. I hope you had fun.